Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.
Hey everybody, welcome to Minutes with the Mayor. And Mayor, you are looking a little different today.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so Minutes with the Mayor today, I have the privilege of speaking with Quincy Fire Chief Steve Salrin. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I always like to say that you drew the short end because I feel like everybody who sits up here is like, well, I don't really know what we're going to talk about. Well, there's plenty to talk about. Of course, we know that you fight fires, but you guys do so much other stuff, which
Right.
I think is going to be really interesting to talk about.
Sure.
And bring a little, shed a little light on it because I don't think a lot of people know what all y'all do. Yeah. But first, let's talk about what happened last night at the city council meeting. And that was the swearing in of 3 firefighters who have been promoted.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who were the 3 firefighters?
So starting in rank order, Sean Henson went from captain to assistant chief.
Okay.
Dion Baker went from lieutenant to captain. And Brian Meyer went from firefighter to lieutenant.
Okay. Well, congratulations to all 3 of you. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they all have quite the experience, quite the timeline with the departments,
their
right?
credentials are, what you would expect for individuals in their tenure within the department.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're happy, and everybody likes that upward momentum when it happens. So
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of upward momentum, I call you relatively new to your position as chief. I don't want to sound like I'm demeaning that at all, but I think that we got to give you credit where credit's due because a new fire chief is a big deal.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you feeling about it?
Good. It's, I spent 15 years in the administrative offices. Transition was relatively easy with, a couple bumps in the road. Right out of the gate, we started with the budget. So
Always a good time.
we were in the formulation stages in that February timeframe when Chief Allcamp retired. So and then it just kind of fell in my lap. So
Yeah.
all in all, things went well for us,
Good.
I believe. So yeah, we've still got the same number of people. So that's first priority for us. And
That's a win.
Then we can work with everything else throughout. So
Yeah. So now, do you know how many fire stations are in Quincy?
I do.
Yeah.
There are 5.
5. Okay. I was like, oh, if you don't know this, we may have to cut and start over. No, I'm kidding. Because I know the number kind of changes based on who's operating. Is that right?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily? Okay. All right.
I'm not sure where you're going with that.
I don't know. Well, there was talk at one time about different houses shutting down based on budgetary constraints, and I wasn't sure if that has changed since you came in.
We've not had that discussion
Okay.
since Station 6 at 24th and Cedar was shut for a year. I'm trying to remember what year that was. It was
a
in
while
the
ago.
late 90s.
Yeah.
Or no.
Sorry,
What
it's not that
year are we
important.
in?
I mean, we're in 25 right now,
Yeah, we
so I
are.
think it was in the 2000s, but it was still a while ago.
It was
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, so as long as nothing has changed, I guess since then, right? We're looking good.
We're looking okay.
Okay.
We could always do better, but we're going to have to spend some money to have those discussions.
Sure.
If we're looking at station consolidation, things like that, to poise us for positioning with the growth that's going on, northeast, north.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of
southeast,
going to be
so-
another one of my questions because, as Quincy, one of the goals seems to be expanding Quincy, growing our population and making sure that, of course, our services keep up with that.
Yeah,
It's gotta be
we've got to get there, and we try to hit a benchmark, and the further out we grow, the more difficult that can get.
Right,
So.
absolutely. And of course, that has to do with not only public safety, but also the other, I don't want to call them smaller tasks, but as opposed to saving lives, maybe they are, but they kind of all go hand in hand. So one would be liquor licenses,
Yeah.
which not a lot of people may attribute to the Quincy Fire Department.
Right. So, part of our discussion today is all the prevention stuff that happens, and that's our primary goal. We
Okay.
want to just prevent fires from occurring, injuries from occurring. if we can. So liquor licenses are done on an annual basis, and that's, the city statute requires that, I believe, as well as maybe state. I
Okay.
don't know, outside of the fire department's sandbox, I don't really get into a whole
Sure.
lot of the hows and whys, but we have our little part. QPD has their part as well
Sure.
for liquor licenses, so we do our thing and go in and do our regular business inspection for those renewals.
Gotcha. So business inspections, you don't necessarily have to have a liquor license to have your business inspected. Now, are you required to inspect every business in the community?
We try to hit everything that's open every other year.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've got about 1,500 commercial occupancies.
Oh, okay.
On top of that, there's about 160 liquor license occupancies.
Now, what are you looking for when you go into these businesses? Don't look around here for examples. I'm sure you could find a few.
I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple.
Hey, take it easy on us, okay?
No, just the basic safety items. Extension cord use. We want to make sure the fire extinguishers are up to date with their service date. If they have fire protection systems like sprinklers and alarms and things like that, those require annual inspections. So we're looking at all those things to be in the mindset of being preventive. If we look at if there are boxes and things stacked against furnaces, water heaters,
Sure.
things like that, we just try to educate the people that are there. It's like, hey, this is why we shouldn't do this. Can you find another spot?
Right. So education for remediation is key. And most people, you said, are pretty good about
They are
resolving the
yeah,
issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most people understand. We don't think about those little things. It's like, if there's an empty space in the closet, we're going to throw something in there
Yeah,
and not give it a second thought.
Yeah, that's me.
That's human nature.
Yeah. So aside from business inspections, of course, we were talking about prevention, and that goes for more than businesses, of course. We want to talk about residential homes. So one of the questions I have, just for my own curiosity, as the weather heats up, I think we all have common sense when it comes to, if the grass is too dry or this or, don't burn things. But do you have any other preventative measures that maybe people wouldn't think about as we move into like the warmer months?
I don't know if you're talking about recreational fires at all and
Any of
stuff
it,
like
yeah,
that.
any of it.
So this is kind of the season. We're kind of coming into it out of the springtime, but fall's the big one.
Yeah.
People like to hang out outside and have
Right.
recreational fire. I think our biggest thing is just try to be a good neighbor. We have calls for recreational fires that they're following all the rules. It's in a container. It's attended. They've got a water source. I mean, they're doing everything they can. But in the fall and spring, people like to have their windows open and don't necessarily want to eat smoke from the
Right.
neighbor's recreational
Yeah,
fire. So that's
right.
where it kind of puts us in the middle a little bit. But I think just being a quote unquote good neighbor would go a long way.
Yeah, and with 4th of July coming up, that also extends there.
Yeah. Fireworks, that's more of a PD issue. Fortunately, knock on wood, at least
I
at
was
this
just
point.
saying, knock on wood, Steve. Yeah.
We've had some rain, so hopefully dry is not going to be a problem. But we're always there. I think the biggest thing for us is injuries related to fireworks are probably more prevalent than fires related to fireworks.
Right.
So if you choose to do that, try to do it safely as possible,
Right.
even though it's not legal whatsoever.
Right,
in
yeah,
the
we want to
state.
reiterate that.
Right.
We're not doing
So-
it. If you are, be careful and also be a good neighbor.
Yeah,
Right?
I know there's some legislation going through or had been talked about in the last couple of sessions of legalizing fireworks.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. The State Fire Chiefs Association is an avid opponent of that.
Yeah.
So
I think everybody with dogs that are scared of them are opponents of that
yeah,
as well. So.
I didn't. That's something that I didn't even consider. But yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Be a good neighbor.
Yeah, right. It goes back to being a good neighbor. I totally took us off on a tangent there, but anything else you want to inform us about, whether it's your time or what can help you guys out, or what your day looks like, or
So again, we kind of touch base on inspections. We do half of those every year of the 1,500. So our crews are busy. We also do hydrant inspections.
Oh, yeah.
We touch every hydrant in town, which is about 2,000 every year. So we just do a function test on those.
okay.
And then about a fifth of those we do every year, we do flow tests on just to make sure that we've got water flow, gallons per minute data that, for one, we're setting the benchmark to see if that's changed over the years.
Gotcha.
Or sometimes we'll find hydrants that aren't on because, service has been done to a water line, but all in all, I think, and we do break some because they're a mechanical device, and we just have some issues with maintenance, stuff like that. But we hand those reports off to the utilities department, and they take care of it for us, and we try not to break too many, of course. But
is that a metric of yours? You're like, listen, if you break another one, you have to wash the truck.
Yeah, well, not even that. It's just like, we don't try to break stuff, but
Sure.
And we try to encourage guys, if it doesn't move, just don't make it move.
Yeah. All right. So I do have one more question. So as far as washing the trucks, because I live out South 36th Street, and I always drive by and I see the guys out there. Some of them wash the trucks. Do they all have to wash the truck? Is it like something they rotate, or they just like to do it, or how's that go?
They should wash it when it's dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no like, you're getting hazed, you got to get out there and wash it.
No.
Okay.
Everybody kind of likes getting out there. And,
Yeah, it's nice out.
yeah.
Typical
chatting.
day for a firefighter. Of course, there probably isn't one, right? Depending on the calls, but
There's not.
Yeah.
Again, this time of year, we're really busy with the inspections for businesses, hydrants and things, and calls, and we train 3 days a month. So yeah, the Monday through Friday days are typically busy, and then you throw in emergency calls, whether it's fire, rescue, EMS, river. Now
Yeah.
that now that that's 'tis the season for that.
I forgot about that. Interesting.
And taking into account all the construction stuff that goes on, there's gas lines
What
being
construction?
hit. And,
Come on.
There's just a couple streets. Yeah, so gas lines being hit.
Yeah.
We sit on those for Ameren, car wrecks, all of the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you guys have to go to all the calls. Is that right?
Primarily,
For the
yes.
most part. Yeah.
Yeah. We go to the emergent medical calls.
Okay.
Typically only, but we don't do the strained wrist or
Yeah.
that
Right,
kind of
right.
stuff.
I get what you're
it's
saying.
more of a life threat call that
Sure.
we're dispatched for.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah. I forget about that too.
and breathing difficulty is a lot of that, but
Yeah. Y'all have your hands full.
we're
But
busy.
You
Yeah.
are, but you do a fantastic job.
About 4,500 calls a
Oh,
year.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't break that down for you, but EMS is by far the greatest number.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I have so many questions for you. Maybe we'll have to take some offline because I don't want you to be like, okay, Ashley, time's up. No, but I appreciate you coming on and chatting
Yeah.
with me. Congratulations, of course, on your promotion.
Thank you.
And to the other three, congratulations to you. It's not an easy job, but we're lucky to have such great people in those positions.
Yeah,
so.
and we're honored to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
welcome.
it. All right.
Your financial needs aren't independent of each other, so your financial advisors shouldn't be either. At Mercantile Bank, our experienced United Wealth professionals are united to serve you and your complete financial planning and wealth management needs. Are you just starting your investment journey or need to roll over a retirement plan? Do you need to plan for a loved one with special needs or for your own life after work? Maybe your business needs a succession plan or you want to enhance your employee benefit programs. Whatever steps you need to take, our United Wealth experts are ready to take them with you. Together, we are united.